Whew. Today is Thursday, March 19th, 2026, and it's about 5:11, or it's 5 o'clock, and I'm getting ready to head over to the gym because right now I'm at, let's see, when I turn over my watch, sometimes it does it. I'm at 2,600 steps, and as I have indicated, my goal is to get to 4,000 steps. And I may even upload this video out of order because sometimes just vlogging helps get things off my chest and make me feel better. So throughout my life, I have had a narcissist in it, or at least they have demonstrated extreme narcissistic tendencies. And as much as I love this person, it's very difficult. And it sometimes helps me understand or have compassion for myself and the way that I am. But what happened is this afternoon I had an interaction with this person, and my nervous system became dysregulated because I felt like I had made a decision on something that I wanted to do and had planned to do, and they wanted to help me financially with the decision that I had made, but then they had all kinds of, it seemed like ways to poke holes in the decision that I made, and have you thought of this, and what about this, and all these things. And it's just like, I appreciate your help, but I also made a decision. And so if you're going to help me, help support the decision that I already fucking made. And so anyways, I became dysregulated from that, and I just started, and sometimes when that happens to me, and maybe I'll make this 2 videos because maybe I'll make it a short instead of a full video. But what sometimes happens to me when, I get discombobulated or something happens, I don't know, maybe I'll just load this as one video, is I will tend to go to either journaling, reading books about the subject matter, or finding a video on YouTube that might help me. And so what was going through my mind is chaotic people and dealing with chaotic people, because what that person did to me caused me anxiety and caused me to feel nervous and caused me to feel frustrated. And I experienced that as a chaotic experience. And so I experienced this person as chaotic as opposed to calming to my nervous system. So I found a wonderful person talking about chaos and narcissists. And I thought, okay, this would be a great thing for me to listen to while I'm walking on the treadmill at the gym. So rather than me sitting here ruminating for the next couple hours until dusk to hopefully let it cool down outside so I could go walk outside, I've decided just to go ahead and head over to the gym right now and listen to this talk and try to get the next 1,500 steps that I need to get to 4,000. And then I could also get a hydro massage. But anyway, maybe you all can talk about it in the comments, what it's like to deal with a narcissist and their controlling behavior and the chaos that they cause in your life. So yeah, maybe I'll split this up into 2 shorts so that on my main videos it doesn't mess up the chronological order. But I need to just calm myself down. Okay, I just watched it back and I've decided that it may be better. We'll just figure out. You'll see what I decide when I upload the video. But what I would also say is that's one of the things that I'm really loving and enjoying about these groups that I'm in now, and the people that I'm surrounding myself with, the sisters and the women, because I feel like maybe it's not narcissistic, I don't know, but I feel like I'm specifically talking about Black women, and this could be a beyond Black women thing, but I feel like in my life, and it may not just be Black women, it could be just women in general. I feel like I have in the past shied away from having close women friendships and close women relationships because of the trampling all over my boundaries as it relates to certain women in my family. And the way that they were, I felt were like harsh and critical. And I'm not saying all the Black women in my family, but some of them make fun of you, just not supportive at all as a woman. And so what I'm loving about learning is that all women are not like that. And what I'm learning is that in the groups that I'm in now, that I'm receiving so much love and support, care and understanding and tenderness without being engulfed in having my life taken over, like completely. Like everybody has their own interests and they can do their own thing, but we can all come together with things we have in common and we can be our own individuated selves. And so I am really loving that. I'm really loving being able to have relationships and community with women, especially Black women, and it not be like we're all a monolith and we all have to think the same. I love the way that people are allowed to share their ideas and their opinions and their interests, and we don't have to be the same. We don't have to think the same. And I love that. And so I just, that calms me. That gives me peace. That makes me feel good that that I'm surrounded now by that kind of energy and people who are supportive versus people who think here's a perfect example is my cousin recently reached out to me and I hadn't heard from her in a while. And then in the DM message, they said, oh, I recently tried, let's just pretend like they said, I recently started playing soccer. And it was like, oh, great. I'm happy for you that you found something that you love. Well, you should try it. And I said, well, I'm not at a level of fitness where I can go and play soccer. It wasn't soccer, but let's just pretend like it was. And I said, I'm not able to do that because I'm not at a level of fitness. I'm still trying to get my walking together. Oh no, you should try it. It's great. And it's for us. And it's just like, why do we have to do the same fucking things? Like, why? Just because you found something that you love doesn't mean that I have to do it too. Like, you go and fucking enjoy yourself. So anyways, this is giving me a chance to just rant because my nervous system got dysregulated. And you could say, well, why do you go to this so-called narcissist for help? And it's like, that's something that I'm still working on in terms of, like, I've tried many times to actually even go almost no contact. And I've tried, but then what happens is we get in a honeymoon period where things are good and they're helpful and not trace me all over my boundaries and want to do and support the things that I'm trying to do. And then other times they're just out of control and all over me. And so I don't know why I keep falling into the same trap, but I pray that I pray for healing. I pray for healing because no contact for me is not necessary. It's not that egregious. And like I said, a lot of times they're on their best behavior. And also too, sometimes I just don't even say anything because I don't want to get into an argument with somebody who's a fucking imbecile and has no self-awareness whatsoever and will never see your perspective. And so it's like a waste of energy. Okay, I'm going to go to the gym now. I'll post a screenshot of the videos that I listen to. But hopefully it'll get me through to take the 1,500 steps and then I'll woosah and have a nice hydro massage. The gym shouldn't be crowded. It's only 5 o'clock. And let's just say shout out to Planet Fitness, because I belong to Planet Fitness, EOS, and Las Vegas Athletic Club. And Planet Fitness, as far as I know, is the only one that has a meter that shows you how crowded the gym is. I love that. And they're the only one that within a $20 or $25 membership, you also get the hydro massage. I think with EOS, you have to pay like way more money, which I'm not doing that. One day, maybe I'll tell you why I have 3 gym memberships. Well, anyways, I don't even have to wait till one day. Basically, they all have different attributes that I love. So, yeah, okay. So why would I need help from the narcissist financially for one thing, but then pay for 3 gym memberships? Yeah, I guess, judge me if you want to. It's all about choices. But like I said, sometimes they're on their best behavior. Let me do what I want to do and live my own life and just offer help out of the kindness of their heart. And then other times it comes to bite me in the ass and I'm like, oh, why did I do that? I'll just add that throughout my lifetime, I've had a very, very difficult time with some family members in terms of being able to be my own person and make my own decisions and people pleasing. And so what triggered me this afternoon is that I had made a decision and said that this is what I'm going to do. And this person totally second guessed and asking, have you thought of this? Have you thought of this? That's not how they said it, but that's how it came across to me, as if I'm stupid and don't know what I'm doing and don't know how to make a good decision, and always questioning my judgment and making me second guess myself. And I fucking hate that. And I will just add that this person that I'm talking about does the same kind of shit to everybody. They are a know-it-all. They think they know everything, and they're always constantly telling people what to do, giving them advice, making suggestions, and all the things. So it's not just me. They do it to everybody. Very dominating and controlling. And that's what I love so far about this group that I'm in this group of grown-ass women. They treat me like a grown-ass woman, and maybe that's because I'm treating myself like a grown-ass woman and not letting anybody act as an authority over me in my life. So what it is that this person is always putting down other people, maybe not to their face, but behind their back, and thinks that a lot of people are idiots and don't know what they're talking about, don't know what they're doing. And this person thinks they know fucking everything, and think they're authority on everything, think they're smarter than everybody. And so somebody's always doing something wrong. And I feel like I grew up in a situation where, I'll talk about it later. I don't know exactly what I was saying, but the point is that I in the relationship with this primary person that I'm talking about in the narcissistic relationship, it's very difficult to have your own thoughts, beliefs, opinions, decisions, feelings, and all those things. And so I've learned to just be quiet and not say anything, because this person gets so easily offended and defensive, and it's not worth getting into any debates or wasting my energy on that person. And I've learned that in my 57 years of existence, that's just a waste of fucking time. And, plenty of people will say that when dealing with the narcissist, setting boundaries and conversations and all that stuff sometimes is just exercise in futility. So anyways, I do love what the guy in the video said that I listened to. I'm going to listen to it again when I get inside the gym, which is where I am now. But he talked about how differentiation and diversity, not DEI diversity, but just diversity in opinion, etc., is threatening to the narcissist. And that is so true. But anyways, I'm getting hot and sweaty, so I'm going to go in the gym and hopefully walk this whole thing off. I feel much better already just vlogging about it. Nervous system regulated, much better. I will say that this person has improved tremendously, because there was a point in time where I would barely even go and visit that person because that's how much I couldn't stand them. So they have improved, but every once in a while that trigger happens. Yeah, so they've gotten a lot better, but still they could use some improvement, but there's no talking to them about it. They're old and just gotta leave it be and decide accordingly what I'm gonna do. But let me tell you, anybody that I encounter that seems to be one of those boundary violators that want to try to boss me around and tell me how to live my life and quick to give me advice, I avoid those people like the plague. Okay, I made it home. Do I have my light in here? I'm happy. Let's see, my light is here. Where is the turn on button? Here we go. I made it home and I feel much better. I didn't make it to 4,000 steps, but I made it far enough to where I am pretty sure that I'll make it to 4,000 by the end of the night, even if I have to do another 5 minutes on my treadmill at home. And so I feel much better. I'm probably not going to post this video immediately. I'm going to try to continue to post everything in order. But my mind could change too. Something could trigger me and it'd be like, fuck it, I'm posting it now. But for now, I'm going to go in the house, have some stuff on my to-do list, and I feel much better. And the hydro massage machine was not working consistently, but it still felt really good. And I did, I think, 11 minutes on the treadmill. And it was enough to get me to around 3,700 steps, I think. So I only have 300 more to go, and I'll get those just walking around the house. And if I don't, then I'll get on my treadmill to get to 4,000. So going back to the soccer story and that person, you know, the thing is that with these people, especially in my family, is if you talk to them the way that they talk to you and talk to other people, they get highly upset, highly offended, and throw a guilt trip. Man, you don't have to be so ugly, so nasty, or whatever. So people say that I'm a pretty calm person, and it's because I know that if I get to a point where I'm blowing up, that means I'm really blowing up, you know? And so, but if you talk to them the way that they talk to you and talk to other people, they would be so like sending you on a guilt trip for being a horrible person, selfish, spoiled, and all the things. And so anyway, you know, part of me felt like just saying, bitch, I said I don't want to do soccer right now, you know, because it's like, you're not listening. And I can't stand people who don't listen to me. Like, I hate that. And that's probably why I became so quiet in the first place in the face of people, is because I felt unheard. And so anyway, I'm hot and sweaty now, so I'm going inside. And the other thing I want to say, see, it doesn't take me long to get in my pajamas. The other thing I want to say is that these people that I'm talking about will be quick to make fun of you or quick to make fun of other people and then call you sensitive. And then, or say you're too sensitive, it was just a joke, or I was just joking, all those kinds of things. But then on top of that, if you clap back at them and make a joke that they don't like, oh, it's over. So this soccer person that I'll give as an example, always flapping her gums about one thing or another and expressing her opinions and trying to tell you how to live your life, right? So there was a point in time where she said something to me, and I think she was cracking on me about something, and I made a crack on her, finally, after having not said anything. And she stopped speaking to me, I want to say, for a couple years after that. I mean, these are the kind of people that I'm fucking talking about, that I have grown up with some trauma, and I'm just learning how to unlearn all of that and move past this dysfunctional family dynamic. And I'm enjoying what I'm experiencing so far. I had another thought, and the thought is that, I think it's probably a little bit of a natural human tendency to want to help and to, offer perspective and opinions and all those things. I think that that's probably natural. All I'm saying is that I steer clear of people who appear to me, based on what they say in their behavior, who appear to have problems with boundaries, who appear to have problems with thinking that we have to think the same and be a monolith, that we can't differ in opinions, decisions, choices, etc., and even interests in the things that we do. And that also, too, that they want to engulf you in terms of all of your available time, or not want to do anything whatsoever with you, although that could be okay, because I've got plenty to do. But I'm not exactly sure what we have in common and what our connection would be. And then the other thing is just people who have bossy energy. Like, I do not like bossy energy. I can't stand bossy energy. So anybody who comes off as too domineering, controlling, bossy, I have a tendency to clock that information and move on expeditiously. And this is coming from a person, being me, that used to be extremely domineering and controlling myself. So I've changed a lot. And I try to do better if it seems like I'm being domineering and controlling.